Hello, welcome to the Wealthy Trades weekly forecast for July 27th, the week of July 27th, 2015. Let's get started. I want to first and foremost go into the levels within the SPY on a weekly basis because we've talked about some levels. If you've watched these videos, you know that I've been talking about or had talked about that 204 level. Okay, it was 204.12 level that we were talking about for what seems to be months and months and months. This last sell-off, all right, early July, went down to 204.11. Okay, the low we were looking at is 204.12. So technically speaking, we actually breached that pivot low by a penny, okay? But it bounced off of that, and then we rallied aggressively higher, okay? Now we're starting to see, once again, all right, volatility coming to the market. So I actually want to look at kind of some of the patterns that are going on and see if there's any clues that we can get into what this market is going to do. I'm going to take off. I'm looking at the Wealthy Trades charts here. I'm going to look at the last 6 months, and I'm going to see if there's any indications of what I can see happening. There's no major patterns, or there's a little bit of, obviously we can make a real strong argument of a rounding top happening here. But what typically happens on a rounding top is you get kind of a defined kind of head and shoulders type of pattern that breaks us down below major pivot. So a major pivot we'd have to break, and let me look at this. Major pivot we'd have to break below would be, this last kind of, fairly major sell-off down to 180. So we are getting a little bit of a rounding top. We have a little bit potentially of a head and shoulders, long-term head and shoulders being put in. I don't see anything major. Now, one thing we might want to watch for, all right, is this right in here. So within here, we may be putting in a little bit of be a real short stature head, right? But there's nothing major, okay? On a shorter term basis, if I dive in and I look at this, I don't see any huge things that are concerning to me. Potential for, you got a little bit of a shoulder here, potentially setting up a little bit of a head there. We put in a shoulder, we could start breaking. That could cause some issues, because here's the thing, that 204 level is still the key level that we want to watch out for on a longer term basis. As long as we stay above that on a weekly basis, weekly closing basis, as long as we stay above that, we're okay. So I actually suspect that we're going to see some buying coming off of this, because if you look at the level we're at right now, which is about 208, last time we were here, we closed at about 207.70, and within about 3 days, we rallied to a high of about 211 or higher. So it was kind of a springboard. So I think that this area here will cause buying pressure. If I look at the last pivot high, which was 213.18, that is a little bit lower, and this is a little bit of a concern, a little bit lower of the last kind of major pivot high. So what could happen is we get a springboard effect here, maybe a push up to 209, 210, and then we kind of test that 204 level again. And here's the thing: is I think if we break and we spring to 210 and it fails, and we start to roll over again, that could be a troubling sign. But if we springboard up and we break that all-time high, all right, there, that 213 level, then that's a good sign. So basically, long story short, this area, as we've been talking about pretty much for 6, 7, 8 months now, between 204 and 213.50 or so is key. Though that's really going to tell us everywhere we're going to go. I think that's probably going to indicate the next 15%, right? So if we break above and close above 213.50, I see 15% more on the upside before we have to worry about anything. If we break below 204, I see 15% more on the downside before we, are going to turn around. So I'm still a bull because the patterns are still bullish. We are still in an uptrend, so we have to be a buyer. Now, here's what we're going to be doing on for our weekly trades. Our monthly trades, real quick, we're still long in the XLV. We're still long in the LLY, which is Eli Lilly. That was the best stock. For this week, though, because we have volatility coming in, very tough market, figure out where we're going. The quality's below 50%, so therefore we've got to do a pairs trade. So we're going to look for the best long opportunity in the healthcare sector and the best short opportunity in the utility sector. So I'm going to move the stocks in the healthcare sector over into my portfolio. And UNH didn't perform great last week. Well, neither did the market. The market didn't perform great either. UNH really was not good. But guess what? We might be long UNH once again this week. Now, here's one thing that I do want to point out. Okay, so I want to look to see, these are the stocks in the XLV. I want to look to see if there's any of these stocks that ended up opening and actually closing higher than their opening price on a weekly basis. So, for example, the ZTS. ZTS opened at 48.10 for the week and closed at 49.49. So actually closed higher for the week. So that's good. Let's look at UNH. As we know, UNH didn't close higher. UNH closed dramatically lower. So the thing I like about ZTS, all right, is it meets my requirements. Makes money. All right, it has a decent spread that's good, and it closed higher for the week. Let's compare that to UNH. UNH has actually a bigger spread and makes money, but why would I pick ZTS for this week rather than UNH? Well, because UNH opened at 124.05 and closed at 117.94, obviously down dramatically for the week. So ZTS is showing relatively more strength than UNH. And I'm going to go through here real quick, see if there's any others that ended up opening and closing. So here's another one. Open 123.13, close 123.82. Here's the deal, though. Why is ZTS better? Because it loses, MNK loses money on the trend side. So bye-bye. LLY, let's see how that did for the week. Opened 87.68, closed 84.72. Bye-bye. Let's look at the XLV. XLV, I believe, closed down for the week. Yep, 77 to 74. See you later. It might be hard to find to see if there's any that actually end up. Open 316, closed 308. See ya. So again, ZTS so far is the only one that meets my requirements on the levels to win profit and closed higher for the week. So 153 to 145, not good. Again, I'm scrolling down here. Okay, so open 154.73, closed 155. So this one's good. So EW. And let's look at Humana. Humana loses money. So it's between EW. Both of these ended up closing higher on the week than their opening price. Now let's look at the spread. 42. So this is about a 21% spread compared to only, a 17% spread. So ZTS is going to be our long for the week. The reason why, and actually stats-wise, if I just use the levels to win data, UNH is the best one. But the problem is UNH had a big down week last week, whereas ZTS actually ended up closing higher for the week. So I'm going with ZTS as my long. Now, we're going to pair that. And the reason why we're going to pair that is, yes, we're in an uptrend, but the quality is below 50%. It's 41.8. So I'm going to pair that with a short in the XLU or the best stock in the XLU. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make sure that whatever stock we decide to short in the XLU closed lower for last week. And probably all of them did. But let's just make sure. All right, let's use our, well, this is going to be a little tough because, all right, so 33 to 32, so close lower. Here's the problem. I'm going to flip through these. Look at this. None of these actually make money on both sides. None of them. Okay? So what do we do? Well, we obviously want to find the one with the biggest spread. So 11, look at this. Trend side 11.5, counter trend 21. So that's not good. That's an inverted spread. That's not good. That's a break-even spread. I guess it's better than inverted. That's break-even. Okay, that we finally got one. 30 and 15. Let's see if it would close lower for the week. 22. Yep, it did. So NRG is better because it has a higher percentage of closing beyond the trend side than it does the counter trend side. That's good. Whereas these two are just break-even. So NRG so far is going to be the best. Let's look at these other ones. Inverted, not good. Break even, not good. Not good. Inverted and inverted. NRG is going to be our short. So here's our trade for this week. We're going ZTS. The reason why it's in the healthcare sector. It closed higher for the week and it makes money on both sides. Levels to win. We're going short NRG. Why are we going short NRG? Well, it loses money on the counter trend side, but it did close lower for the week. All right, open at 22.29, close at 21.40. Closed lower for the week, which is good. And it's got the widest spread between the levels on levels. So NRG is going to be our short. So Monday morning at the open, I'm going to go short NRG, long ZTS. That is going to be my trade for the week. And as you know, for the month, we're still long LLY, which is in the healthcare sector. And hopefully we can have a little bit of a snapback rally this week. That trade, just so you know, LLY for the month. I called this out the beginning of the month. It's actually not doing that bad. It gave back quite a bit this week, but if you remember, it actually opened up the month at 83.80. It's at 84.72, so it's up a little over 1%. So not too shabby in the face of a market that's really struggling this month. So let me know if you have any questions. You can email me info@wealthytrades.com. Let's make it a great week. Thanks.